Welcome back, builders. In the last video, we learned all about buttons, actions, and conditions in the final builder. Now it's time to put all that knowledge to the test. Today we're building our very first fully functional automated build from scratch. This is where it all comes together, folks. We'll be using everything we've learned so far to create a real-world example that you can adapt and use for your very own projects. Get ready to see the magic of the final builder in action. So let's get building. Today we're going to start off with a good standard template for POS that we've used in the past. We're going to start by just dragging up an image. It's always nice to have a little final logo up in the corner. You can of course put your own logo there. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put in a button up here. As I mentioned last time, it's always good to have a housekeeping field. Called go to page and go to station home. And really what this one does is just take us out to our station home. I would recommend you always have it on your builds, unless you maybe have a kiosk. Then you might still want to have it, but more hidden or with an authenticate feature or function in where the user will have to write their credentials to get in. Next up, we are gonna take care of getting a simple card. We're gonna drag it over here, and basically this is how it looks out of the box. So I think that's pretty good. We're not gonna spend too much time on styling that. It includes everything and in a nice clean layout, but just know that we're able to show and hide stuff, rename things, and fully style it over here as with any other element. Next up, let's go and add another button here. We're gonna add a button down here. Actually, let me just drag in another button instead. We're gonna add a payment button here. We're gonna add a cash button. And basically what this will do is take care of the cash payment today. We're not going to talk too much about payment types. We're just going to make a cash POS solution. Good. We might want to just make sure that fills the space. And we do that by clicking size. And then width, you can see it's set to fit right now. If I hit fill, it fills the space. This is a really good thing to kind of know on how many of the elements are set. If I drag that over here, it will fill the container that it lives in. And if I choose something like fit, it will just take up the space with the padding and whatnot that is set to it. We're going to drag it down there again. And then we're just going to set it back to fill, as I think that looks better. I just gotta make sure I select the right element here. And then we're gonna say width, fill. Okay, so that looks pretty good right there. Next up, let's take care of our product grid. We're gonna drag in a grid here. You see all of the repeater divs are loading up here. And for this build, I would like to style it a little bit different. And maybe let's just say, for today, we're just gonna show clothing. We could obviously show all that, but right now there's only four products in the clothing category. We could now make different tabs and whatnot to show the different categories, but for today we're just gonna have a clothing page. Next up, let's drag in an image. Then we're gonna go to dynamic image, product image, and now that already starting to look pretty good, but I think let's set a fixed style here of the size of the card. Maybe something like a 320 will look pretty good. Gonna add in some text. Don't worry if it looks a little bit weird now. We're just gonna make sure that we get everything in, and then we'll clean it up in a minute. We're gonna go and choose product data, product name, and I would like a little bit of space here, so I'm just gonna put let's do like that. That's starting to look pretty good. And then the image is set to fill everything from the beginning, so if we already just put it in cover mode, Now we're starting to have something that looks pretty good. On top of that, I am just gonna go ahead and just show you how crazy you could go with styling if you want. So we can add something like that. That looks pretty good right there. And I think that's it for this for now here. So let's then go in and add how we want to view our product. We're going to call this product. And then we're going to click add. And then we are going to choose, let's choose something like this here. So this is a product pop-up. So let's start by adding a product name here. And we're going to click product name. We're going to click here. And then on top of that, let's also add a closing icon. We're going to add that there. We have a lot of icons baked in here. But let's search for cross. And then as we go down here, we should be able to see a cross. We're going to make a new action. Create new action. Going to call it toggle product. Then we're going to add new step. We're going to go to toggle pop-up, and then we're going to choose the pop-up we add. Basically what this will do is whenever you run this action, it's going to open or close the pop-up that we have selected here. We're going to, in a minute, just set how we're going to open this pop-up, but right now we're basically set this to be a closing icon as such. Then we're going to go in and we're going to say space apart or line apart. And what that does is it pushes each of the elements as far from each other as possible within the container they're in. Next up, we're going to add another product element. We're going to add the variations in here. We're not going to spend too much on styling them. I think they look pretty good from the beginning for a touch screen. But again, you can of course set it however you want. So for now, we're just going to leave it like this. I think that works pretty good. Then let's add in, we're going to add in a container. And I do that because I want to add a couple of different things together here. So I'm going to add in a product image here that takes up that space. And then while I'm in this container, I'm going to click add again. And then I'm going to take and add a text element. And I'm going to add the product data. And I'm going to just add price here. We can, of course, if we go in here to advanced text data, we're going to just add a little bit of a prepend text. And I'm going to add in the dollar symbol. Normally, it would pull that in directly from your settings. But as I haven't actually set up currency settings in the hub, it won't load that in directly. Next up, let's go up to the container here. And then we're going to add in a new button. We're going to add a button called Add to Cart. We're going to click Add to Cart. And we are going to just choose a new function. We're going to choose Add Products to Cart. Here we're going to select Add Active Product to Cart. We could say choose a specific product. So if you, for example, are building a kiosk and you want a donate button, or maybe add an extra bag to the checkout for $1 or whatever you might want to do, you're able to write the specific SKU of the variation or simple product that you want to add. But for now, we're just going to choose the active selected product. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a minute. We're going to just say add to cart. And we're going to use that nice fill feature that we just talked about, that I call fill. And then we're going to choose the main container here, the whole container. And then we're going to again use the apart, but vertically apart as the whole container is set to direction vertical. Okay, I think that looks like a pretty good setup. Of course, if you wanted to go further with this, you could add in product description, SKUs, anything like that. Maybe one last thing to just keep the theme as we had it before. Let's add our little unique styling for this theme here. And hit save. That's good right there. And then let's go back to our main page and talk a little bit more about the product grid. we are able to style it fully here as we talked about. So if we just want to see 3 on our tablet, we can do that. You can of course choose however many you want depending on the screen size your checkout solution is going to be run on. I think that looks good. We've set it to clothing. That looks pretty good. Now let's try and click the repeater div. And what you see here is we have actions. One thing you need to know about the repeater grid is that it comes with a pre-built action called select product. So as the user clicks on any of these tiles here, it's automatically gonna select the tile they click on. What I would like to do on top of just selecting and changing the active product is to toggle the product pop-up. So basically, whenever we click on this now, we're gonna toggle the pop-up to come in, as well as we set the active product. So that looks pretty good right there. We're gonna add one page here called checkout page, and click here. We're gonna style that like so. 1 second here. Just style that with a nice image in the center, final, and then maybe we're gonna just put in here, checkout complete. So that looks good, and then we're just gonna maybe center that, make it a little bit bigger. And then we are gonna add one more button. We're just gonna add a home button so we can get off this screen as well. Oh. And let's save that. And then I think one last thing we gotta do is just link up the checkout complete page to go to checkout page. And that looks pretty good right there. I'm gonna just set up this here and see if I can switch to our iPad. And let's just see how all of this looks here. We're just gonna go in. We have our latest build here. And let's see how it works here. So we'll open the register, and this is looking pretty good. Let's try and open up a product here. This is a simple product, so it'll show the price here. And as we add to cart, you'll see behind the scenes that it's adding it. We could of course have added a close pop-up or toggle pop-up as we do add to cart. But for now this works. Let's try and open up a variationable product. And when you see a product here with variations, you're seeing as I click on any of these, the price are changing dynamically. And let's add that to cart, close the pop-up. There's one little thing to note is I could also click out here. All pop-ups from start comes with the gradient also being a close button. Let's try and hit our cash button, and we'll see the checkout complete. And then when we come home here and open the register again, cart is now empty. So that's it for today. We've built our very first automated build in the final builder, but we're not done yet. There's always room for improvement, right? In the next episode, we're going to take this to the next level. We'll add a professional looking checkout page, a dedicated customer section to manage user information, and a detailed order section to keep track of everything that is going on. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic deep dive into some really useful final builder features. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss it. Keep building, and I'll see you in the next video.